Hello all, thank you and welcome to sharing my new Eachine 250 FPV Racer that I got from Banggood. So I've unboxed everything. It all came quite nicely packaged in a nice compact box, quite unscathed and well protected in this good strong foam rubber. So without boring you with the unpacking, basically I've unloaded the contents. Got your balance charger, comes with a US plug adapter. Unfortunately I live in the UK, but I have an adapter for it, but it would have been nice to have got a UK adapter for this. Two 1.5 1500 milliamp batteries, one for the FPV screen and one for the quadcopter itself. 4 black props, 4 white props, so we're going to use 4 to put onto the quad, and then we'll have 4 spare, which will definitely be needed. Always good to have extra props. A little spanner for tightening up the lock nuts and Allen keys for the various keys on the thing. This is to hold the FPV screen. On here, very nice little screen. I've put the aerial on already, but you know that's quite simple. You just screw it on, and then the battery's going to go in there. It also comes with the equivalent of a Fly Sky i6 called the Eachine i6 transmitter. Nice, bit plasticky, but still nice looking transmitter. Battery panel at the back, so it also comes with 4 NiMH 1.2 volt batteries, which are easy enough to slot in, and just bang on. When you switch this on, just make sure all the switches are up and that the throttle is in the down position. If you switch it on with it not in the down position, you get a warning. I'll get back onto that. Okay, so now down to the main task. We need to get this ready and prepped for flight. So let's start off with the FPV transmitter. We'll turn that over, put the battery in, so quite a big battery. I'll probably also, like someone else suggested, you know, get another battery and use this one as a spare battery to fly the quad with. Hope you can see okay there. And let's pop you in here. Actually the right way around. That slots in there quite nicely, and as you can see, already switched on but no signal yet, so we'll just switch it off for now. Come back to the racer. So we got batteries in the transmitter, we got the battery on the receiver. Now I did check this beforehand, and unfortunately when you get the batteries, they aren't fully charged. So if you can see that, we're only at 11.58 volts, 52% of charge. So I'm not going to charge it up for my first test flight. I'll just use what's remaining on this battery to get that. I did check the 1.5 1.2 volt batteries that came for the transmitter, and they came fully charged. So if you want to get a good flight, I suggest charge up your battery to full capacity first before you want to go flying. So now, okay, the battery, now this is one little problem I have with this, is that it only came with one strap for the battery, and when you slot the battery in, if you can see over here, if it's pushed full forward, so yes, if we look a lot closely at putting the battery in over here, it will touch against the board and the USB. So if there's a bit of a knock, that's going to be a little bit tricky and could cause damage. So what I've done is I've just taken some double-sided adhesive tape and put it on the bottom of the battery there to give a little bit of protection should that happen. Also, seeing as though I've only got one strap, and to give it some extra sort of fastening, I've taken some Velcro and I put Velcro on the base there. Hopefully you can see in this light. And I've also put Velcro on the bottom of the battery here to secure it. So let's pop the battery in now and secure it. So there we go, you're in there, you're there. Tighten the strap here, and also the straps are a little bit long, so it's difficult to get this strap to actually securely hold fast without a little bit of difficulty. So maybe I'll think of some modifications or something to do to make life a bit easier there. So now press down on the Velcro and this battery is not going anywhere. Now, one thing I've noticed after putting the battery on, I won't connect it just yet, is that if you lift it up, even with the battery, you know, as far forward as it will go, it's quite imbalanced. So, although I wasn't planning on putting my Mobius on it at this stage, let's have a look. Okay, so my Mobius is 46 grams. Can you see there? And I'm just going to put the Mobius on using 2 rubber bands. To hold it in place. And let's see what happens now. Now if I lift that, you can see that's pretty well balanced. You know, probably an extra couple of grams on the front would be okay, but no, that makes a big difference. So the Mobius is going flying and recording. Now to save time, I put the 2 front props on already. I was a little bit disappointed when I actually opened up the packet. I thought the front props would be white, but they're actually more transparent. So fortunately I had some spare props, and I've decided to put red props on the front and black props on the rear, as you can see. Now with quadcopters, the left engine is clockwise, and sorry, the left front is clockwise and the front right is anti-clockwise. So essentially you want to get your lift coming through and this must be opposite. So you can see here, this is getting the lift clockwise, and now this one anti-clockwise will then put the downward force there. So simply at the back you just have to do the opposite. So if we look at the back props, over here, it must be, this one must be the opposite, as you can see, and go on the back here. And this one must be the same as the front there. If we look at the lift and the front trim here, and go on here. So let's just unscrew these nuts whichever way they go, and put the prop on. Make sure it's down and right down on the bottom. Fasten the nut. Okay. Hold the motor, take the little spanner and tighten that, and do the same on this side. If I can get the nut off. There we go. Put this on there. Make sure it's down flush. Tighten the nuts in the opposite direction that it'll go on. Hold the motor and secure that there. Okay, so those are the props. Now let's attach the FPV screen to the transmitter here. Now I've put this bracket on already, so you get this bracket that's got the little chrome nut over there, and you get a little bolt with an Allen key connection over there, and the nut on the inside here, and basically you've got to tighten it. So you can not use that, so I'll use a pair of long nose pliers to actually hold the nut fast while I tighten the screw with the Allen key there. So basically it should look like that once it's tightened and onto there. We then take the FPV screen, and we've got this little item here that looks like that, and we just need to screw that onto the bottom here. Okay, so it's screwed in. We want it locked and tight. Okay, so there we go. You can see that, and then this is going to just slot in to the transmitter here, and we take the thumb screw and get it in here. Adjust it to an angle that you want, or think you need, and tighten it. And here we go. That's the transmitter. All done. Now this looks a little bit untidy dangling out there. So I'm just going to feed it back under the straps here. and so that's out of the way. The best position for the aerial for the transmitter is horizontal to get better reception. Some people think it should be vertical, but horizontal will give you better FPV reception. Now also Banggood.com and Eachine provided a lanyard. So this is quite handy because this just clips on in this little hole over there, and you can strap this around your neck. Now the transmitter is not light, it's fairly heavy, but you know, you don't want to drop it or damage it, so this is a nice little touch, you know, so you can just strap this around your neck, and yeah, if you get distracted and it drops, it shouldn't fall and get damaged. Let's have a look. Here we are. I think nearly all ready to see if we have life. Okay, let me plug in the battery first. Yeah. Oh, and then there's life. That sounds promising and looks promising. Now one thing with the battery, I must say, and I learned before, is that you want to try and keep your battery leads away from the props so they don't connect in mid-air. So when I put the battery in, I put the opposite side to the connection on the left hand side, so that this is shorter and will stay there. If you do it the other way around, this lead's going to be longer, and the chances of you actually getting your cables cut by the props are far greater, and you will come tumbling down, which will be a shame. But once I get some better cable, well, Velcro things, I'll make sure that I keep this very far away. So let's get our transmitter, get these props out of the way, receiver plugged in. Okay, lens cover off the front taken off, ready for FPV. Now this lanyard does get a little way in the way this way, but make sure all switches are up, throttle is down, switch on, no alarm. Now to arm this, you have to move the throttle, or to unlock the motors you have to move the throttle, this one to the left there, bring this down, bring that up and back, and there it wants to go. So the opposite applies. To disarm, you have to bring the throttle lever to the left, do that, and now if I try and accelerate, nothing. So there again, bring it to the right, release, bring this down, up, and I should have the motors unlocked again. Now I can't wait to fly. Unfortunately I can't go out right now, it's too dark, and I also need a break in the weather, so I will post a video when I do my first flight. So thank you for sharing and watching with me. I hope I managed to show you that it doesn't take too much to get it completely ready for flight. And yeah, once it gets going, I look forward to seeing this in the air. So we'll catch you later. Bye bye. Oh, and so sorry, I forgot to check the FPV screen. So let me turn that on. And oh wow, can you see that? Don't worry about the mess. Oh yeah, no, that looks great. That's obviously probably what second to it getting up and running, the most important thing. So I'm very impressed with that. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.